But first, if you want to know why we have a housing crisis, apart from record immigration numbers, then we've got a picture to show you. This picture was sought by New South Wales Premier Chris Minns, who asked state bureaucrats to provide for him on a single page a diagram of how housing approvals work in New South Wales. Now, it took them months to create this, but this is what he got back. And honestly, I would run you through it, but we don't have any Panadol here to deal with the headache that would surely follow. But I'll summarise it like this. The diagram shows that building a house in New South Wales requires the builder to go through 27 stages with as many as 50 individual steps. And that's before you take into consideration reviews, appeals and modification applications. This could be a reason why the New South Wales government, who've set a goal to build 377,000 homes in the next 5 years, are tipped to only build 172,000, leaving the state short 200,000 dwellings. Premier Chris Minns had this to say upon reviewing the diagram that landed on his desk. This map, he said, shows just how confused, complicated and absurd the system that we inherited is. It shows the scale of the problem and why change is so necessary. You'd be forgiven for thinking this map is a game of snakes and ladders, not a process that should exist to help get much-needed homes built across our state. Here's Chris Minns speaking today about changes he's already making.
We have already established a task force. One of the biggest drivers of delay in the planning system has been New South Wales government departments waiting an extremely long time to give concurrences and approvals. That group has approved 13,000 new dwellings as a result of it operating. Previously, Department of Roads, the RFS, the SES, water would wait forever before an approval went through. This is a system that we stole from Queensland, and we believe early signs are it's working very well in New South Wales.
It's great they're finally going to do something, but I mean, we've all known about this for the longest time. I was reading reports today of one guy who'd been waiting 3 months for approval to widen his driveway. Oh. Someone else who'd waited 15 months for approval to build a single-storey dwelling on his acreage. So the government have finally realised what we've always known.
Yeah, well, they've only been in power since since last year. They have already established this task force. The task force is already producing these results. Has already greenlit 13,000 homes. The state government tragically does not have jurisdiction over every single dwelling because councils have a huge amount, but they're already reading the right act to councils as well and telling them they have to lift their game. Every local government area has its own target that it has to meet, and the Daily Telegraph did some great work recently also naming and shaming the targets met by, say, Mossman compared to Blacktown, where they're building thousands and thousands and thousands, and Mossman, where they're struggling to put up a tent in someone's backyard without getting someone chaining themselves to the nearest gum tree. So it's just awesome that he's doing this. It's amazing. Like with everything else, he's really upfront about it. He's honest about it. He says, yeah, we stole this from Queensland. He's not pretending it's his idea, but he's just someone who has incredible clarity, incredible cut-through thinking, incredible cheekbones, and I'm pretty sure even, Liz, you are starting to swoon a little bit at this man's incredible... I mean, seriously, this guy is like a chainsaw through red tape. This is all he's doing. If you stuck a blue ribbon on him, you'd think he was a lib. That's the kind of Labor guy I like.
They have been in power for 18 months now. I can't remember a time before they were telling us housing is our #1 priority, but it took you 18 months to ask for a flowchart that took you 3 months to put together. Hardly imbues us with confidence that you know what you're doing when no one in the bureaucrat... This should have taken a day. Mr Premier asked for a flowchart. I want to know the process of building a home. Ask anyone who's built a home. Maybe get a focus group together and be like, tell me what you went through, the hoops you had to jump through, the approvals that you had to get, the different bodies you had to hit up in order to get your home up off the ground. Those people would have told you in a day. The very flowchart took 3 months, and now we're supposed to be applauding this. This isn't something to crow about. Thank God you're finally doing something. But this should be an absolute humiliation. 18 months in power, #1 priority, and you've only just realised, the government is responsible for the housing crisis. Something anyone could have told you for free. So now and now this really pokes hole in the credibility of this commitment that they made to build 377 new homes in the next 5 years,
he's already
from 2024 to 2029.
He already said that. He already said that months ago.
That's my point. So you
not
made
going to
that
meet it.
commitment.
No, he didn't. No, he said he wasn't going to meet the target.
To realise
You've got to actually read the stories.
Wasn't remotely feasible.
No. It was on the front page of the Daily Telegraph. You couldn't have missed it if you were in space. Chris Minns came out pretty much as soon as the Commonwealth and all the states agreed on these housing targets. He came out and said, there is no way we are going to meet them. This happened months and months and months and months and months ago. And the work of all of this started.
He said months and months and months ago, there's no way that we can meet them. But he waits till now to ask for a flowchart to be like, wait,
but he hasn't waited till now. He did
it was the realisation. It was the realisation that there was no way they would meet the targets that then prompted him to say, OK, we need to look at the process because clearly there is something wrong. My point is, we've all known there's something wrong for the longest time because we've all been waiting for approvals with dwellings we've been trying to build.
So it took them 18 months, then 3 more months to put the flowchart together, all while they said, till they were blue in the face, housing is our number one priority.
The other lot were in power for 10 years.
It's good to get excited about.
If there's any... for the life of me understand how you're outraged by this. But anyway, that's fine.
I'm not outraged, mate.
If there's any comfort for ratepayers, it's that, man, if you're waiting the longest time to get approvals to build your house, the state premier waited 3 months for a one-page flowchart.
Can't you just imagine?
So you're doing OK.
Can't you just imagine bureaucrat A comes in and says, hey, guys, the Premier wants us to build a one-page flowchart on how housing improvements happen. And the other guy down the back goes, don't do it, it's a trap.
Can you imagine how many approvals were needed for the flowchart?
Oh, my God, as soon as he gets this, we're all fired.